Gohan no futatabi subarashi mono ni suru hoho. And what's going on, guys? It's your boy Uchi, and of course, as always, back again, once again, with another hot topic here for the Uchi Games channel on YouTube. Now, this time around, this is has nothing to do with Broly, even though there's a lot more stuff that I have yet to talk about exclusively in its own video. But this one, this particular topic is actually something that I feel like people have been going back and forth on with, why or how Gohan is the way that he is now. There's a lot of rumors, speculations, and theories behind it. But mainly what we're going to be talking and focusing on today is how, if they would ever revitalize his character and basically bring him back to that respective state where he is looked at as, a threat and a really powerful warrior and fighter. So back on the channel, my homie, none other than D.Disciple, who I have to give all the credit for, because honestly, this video probably wouldn't be happening if he didn't drop this little thought in my head to think about. So please welcome back D.Disciple. What's going on, D.Disciple?
Yo, I'm good. You already know your boy has ideas for days when it comes to these type of theories and everything.
Oh yeah. But this one, when you had talked to me about it offline here, like, I was like,
after the Brawly stuff.
Yeah. I was like, okay, I think we gotta come back and do another video, because this.
I'll put that shit in your brain, man.
Yes,
I put that stuff in your brain.
Yes, you definitely did. So really quick before we get into the meat and bones of this, I did want to shout out the recent scrapped art that came up for Gohan, and a lot of people from, when I shared it on my Twitter, on my Instagram, a lot of people that saw it had really good things to say about it. And for those that may not have seen it, it's actually, you're looking at it right now because I'm including it in the thumbnail, but just to look at the model, it kind of gives you a little reminiscing feel of future Trunks, but at the same time, he keeps like his haircut look during the Cell Saga that he got and that he was rocking throughout, the majority of that time. And he just looks way better, in my opinion. I thought that design overall was something that they should have kept around. And realistically, it was pretty much just the hair and the jacket that was totally changed. If you look at his model in Dragon Ball Z, he basically kept the same kind of pants and the undershirt, but they decided to just give him like a vest jacket or something instead of like the future Trunks jacket. And then of course they gave him like a whole new haircut, which is what he's been pretty much rocking ever since, then.
Is it a vest jacket? It looks like it's got it looks like the sleeves are included to the jacket.
Yeah, like it looks, it's like, so the new one it looks a lot more like the future Trunks jacket. It's like goes up to, it's like a short one as far as like
it's like a half jacket but with
sleeves.
Yeah,
half jacket with sleeves, right? Exactly. So a lot of fans, like, that were interacting with me, and I was asking, like, what did you guys think about it? Like, everyone was like, oh my god, it's such a fire design, like, I don't know why they ever got rid of it. And then, like, some people were saying, like, oh, maybe, like, they'll reuse it for, like, Goten or something. Nah, man. Yo, they need to give that to Gohan. Like, I don't care. Like, he can have a baby. He can have a wife and all that. Get rid of the glasses. You're like, whatever. Like, that's just me talking out loud right now.
Look, let's be real. We can discuss about the potential of Goten and Trunks. But right now, this scrapped idea could have been the most genius thing, but I feel like Toriyama and them didn't want this idea because it would have required so much work and animation and everything. Toriyama is lazy.
Well,
this man is lazy when it comes to like doing anything animated. That was the whole reason why the Saiyans didn't have tails, because it was too much of a hassle to draw, and he almost didn't include any attack moves when they did their attacks. Like, but when I'm looking at this, looking at this design, and I swear to God, I think if Toriyama decided to have made Gohan like the hero of the Z universe and just kept Goku dead, this would have been the design.
Yeah,
because he's got the reminiscent haircut that his father gave him back in the hyperbolic time chamber. He's got the color for Piccolo, the purple color, the purple and the white,
right.
to go with the turban from his old outfit and everything. Has the reminiscent jacket to remember about future Trunks, and then he's got like this brown or orange like pants and everything. Like he has his own design. Could be tacky, but I mean like it's him. This is him.
Yeah, dude. And honestly, I feel like it would have been a nice little nod to future Trunks, who of course was not present during this time in the Buu arc, because at this time we had Goten and Kid Trunks, and this kind of would have filled that gap, if you will, lack for a better term or phrase, because future Trunks, again, another popular character coming from the future, and everyone knows his story. And then of course after Cell was defeated, he goes back to his time, cleans up his mess up until recent events that take place like way later down the line. And if Gohan had that look, I feel like he definitely would have seemed like way more respected, way more cooler of a character, of course. And I just think a lot of people would have definitely favored this Gohan over the Teen Gohan, because of course, to segue into what we're gonna be talking about now, Teen Gohan is amongst the favorite character pool from amongst a lot of fans. Like, if you ever ask what their favorite moments are in history of Dragon Ball Z, you're always gonna hear someone say, when Gohan was Super Saiyan 2 and he finally defeated Cell with the one-handed Kamehameha, Father-Son Kamehameha. And at this point in time, Gohan was the strongest fighter. He was the strongest Saiyan out of all of them at this point in time. So as we go forward, it seems like he's kind of fell off. And, fans have been very vocal and very upset at that. And,
come on, man, be real.
And especially with Dragon Ball Super, this has been an opportunity, and fans are still waiting for the time to let Gohan gain that shine back, and to regain that potential that he had, that that strength that he had. And and it's sad because when you look at the timeline, I mean, it's like we start with Gohan being a true threat. Like, I forget where or what episode it was exactly. I don't have that kind of like almanac in my head, but I do specifically remember Piccolo saying that I think it was right around the time when like he attacked Raditz, and he's like, this kid has the potential to be stronger than all of us, right?
No, that was the episode.
It was, okay.
That was the episode. It was the episode afterwards.
Yeah. So like Gohan was written to be like the next best thing, pretty much, in the story of Dragon Ball Z. And then, of course, you go into the Buu arc, things kind of changed, and then it kind of ended up being more. They gave the kids some more screen time, which is good. But then at the end of the day, it ended up being all about Goku saving the day once again. And then now here we are in Super, and still nothing. It's Gohan is he's sporting the glasses. He's sporting a very more business kind of look with whatever job he actually does, which I'm like, and I have to reference my brother on this. So shout out to brother Uchi, but he always said, and I'm like, but dude, like Gohan's not the kind of person. But he's like, man, I don't care. He thinks that because he's married to Videl, there really is no reason for him to like go out of his way to like work and make all this money, because they already have money, blah blah blah. And I'm like, dude, Gohan's not that kind of guy. He wants to provide for his own family. But when it comes down to all these fans that think of Gohan in his prime, and that's what they want. They want Gohan back to how he used to be. I can understand the frustration. So now the question comes, or the scenario comes into play, and this is where I turn this over to you. Tell us how they can truly, effectively, and optimally how they can bring back Gohan to to that mantle that he once had, and to give him that essence again at feeling like he definitely is an important character, and bring him back to the place that he was at, and everyone gives him that respect again. And not just the fans. I'm talking about the characters within the story, because Goku doesn't even... He sleeps on his own son now. So,
dude, he sleeps.
Yeah.
Like, I'm about to go in. Like, I'm about to go in on some of the... Like, I'm going to reference some of the manga parts of
so
this.
please, take it away, and I will do my best to not freak out over you saying it again.
All right, so... If you guys haven't noticed, like in my theory, there is a certain pattern to how Super has been introduced to us, like character wise and everything.
Yes.
Like if you have noticed, it's been movie character gets introduced, then a returning TV character comes back, and then we had a movie character in there. So if we go by the pattern, I say the next big arc, excluding the manga arc that's happening right now, because it is bringing back an old character, an old TV character and everything. But I'm saying, like, if they decided to do another movie, and I feel like they will bring back a TV character, and that would be Perfect Cell. I would say if they brought back Perfect Cell, they can actually, like, try to re-trigger back Gohan, like how they did when Piccolo trained him to get back into his ultimate potential. And then, like, even Piccolo said, like, there's possibly even more potential left in him than what he had at the Tournament of Power in the anime side. While in the manga side, he's saying, like, I'm going to use my human spirit and everything. We're just like, no, Gohan, no. We want your Saiyan side. We want your Saiyan side. Right. The only reason why I'm saying this is because if you have noticed throughout all of Gohan's entire story as a character, he gets stronger when he throws a temper tantrum. And obviously the biggest temper tantrum he ever had was when Cell was attacking everybody and Android 16 told him to let it go. And we get that beautiful transformation of Super Saiyan 2.
Right.
One of the greatest milestones of DBZ history. You cannot deny that.